back in the game Hey yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rap Yard Podcast. We can hear you, but it's a little broken down. Try getting on your Wi-Fi or getting off of it.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi is off because my Wi-Fi. That's the whole reason.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
I'll be right back.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. Jordan Shell will be back with us in just a few moments, but we do have a guest with us today. It is my pleasure to bring on Create Lady J. Give it up for
What's
her.
up?
How
What's
you
up?
doing today?
Man, I'm vibing, chilling.
That's
Happy to
what's
be
up.
here with y'all.
Yep, thank you for being on the show. I'm digging the collar right now. I'm
Oh
digging the
yeah,
neck piece. Yeah,
that's what I do,
that's very
aggro.
dead. That's very edgy from.
Yep.
So,
There we go.
so for people who don't know or may not be familiar with you, where are you based out of?
So I would say that I'm based out of Baltimore. That's where I do a lot of my shows, a lot of my different stuff. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore, and I saw that in your bio that was it you were going on tour with Trippy Wedge soon
Oh no,
or
that happened.
oh
That
that
happened.
happened.
Yep.
Uh
It
huh.
was fire. It was fire. Trippy Red and Mikey Polo. And we went to
That is
15 cities.
crazy. 52 cities.
15 cities, yo.
15,
Yeah,
and
15. Yep. That should go.
yep, we got you. We don't have your mic yet, but we got you back up here.
All right. Check, check, check. Is
Fire.
that better?
Check,
Yes, that's
check,
a
check.
lot better.
Microphone check.
That's a
Let's
lot
get it.
better.
Woo! It's
Hmm.
like anything that could go wrong will go wrong, kind of thing. All
Oh
right.
Yeah, I
yeah,
hear that. Well, you know how technology is.
Yeah, I sure do. So thank you for joining us today, Create Lady J,
that's
and
right. Thank you.
so thank you. Right now, you're. I guess he was just asking you this. You're based out of
Yeah,
where right now?
about to.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Be more.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Is that a big difference from where you're originally from? Like, you were in
Yes.
some somewhere in California. Yeah,
Yeah. Yes, it is.
I know.
But it's fine.
JPEG Mafia moved there from somewhere in the South, I believe, and he talks a lot about that, like in his interviews and stuff. Are you familiar with
Oh
JPEG?
yeah.
Okay,
I'm not actually.
you're not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, he's kind of blown
Give
up
me
in the
hip.
past year or so.
There we go.
Okay, well, his name's
Yeah.
JPEG Mafia.
Uh-huh.
And he's been on tour like the last year with our ex nephew and a bunch of other people. But let's talk about your. I think there's a bit of a delay too, so that might cause an
Oh
issue.
no,
But
you're fine over here.
okay,
Yeah. Seems like you're good.
okay. Who I caught on to you from you had a post on TikTok that was like talking about your favorite rage rap artists, like your top
Hmm.
10.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I
That
can't
people
remember who
love
all
that.
was on it. Yeah, no, God, that's how I found you.
Mm.
Who would you
Fire.
say is
Yeah.
like your biggest influence as far as like the quote unquote rage rap goes?
Rage rap influence. That's really interesting because I felt like I kind of came into this rage rap before I knew any other rage rappers.
Yeah.
For real?
Because yeah, for real. Like I've had stages, right? Because I went from sounding like a baby Eminem, like a female woman Eminem, to being very nerdy. So like just full nerdcore, everything nerdcore, however, and developing into this rage rap is mainly because of the energy and the way I like perform and just the way I dress, the way I look. It just felt right. Like this is where I
Right.
belong. So when I did first start though, my inspirations were Linkin Park and Eminem. So
Okay.
rock
Nice.
rap has kind of always been like just festering in there. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Eminem definitely has some rage within him.
and that too. Ooh, that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Lincoln Park, I guess, don't they now have like a female lead?
Yes, they do.
Okay. I'm not really like too familiar with them, but
Me, yeah, not with the newer stuff.
yeah. Or the older stuff really. I mean, that wasn't Like it was them and some I'm trying to remember, like kind of like the ska punk scene in the
Um,
90s and stuff. I don't know how
mhm,
old you are, but that was the thing for a while. Rage Against the
mhm.
Machine.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm aware of all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a like a Linkin Park show?
Shoot, I'm gonna change that now. They going on tour, and I was just like, I thought I'd never see him again after the unfortunate thing that happened with Chester. But
Right.
I'm gonna make sure I see him now. So I've never actually seen them.
Mm. Are fans kind of
Mhm.
like divided on that, having a new lead and all that?
They are. They
Yeah.
are. There's a lot of discourse with the new lead, whether it's being a woman or being who she is and whatever happened in her past. But I'm
What, I
like,
don't know anything.
F all that.
What's the tea on that? Is she like scandalous in some way or?
Who
I feel
knows?
like, yeah, really. From what I've heard, it's something about her supporting somebody that was like a rapist or something. But then when she
Oh,
found out he was a rapist, she was like, ugh, she backed up. It almost sounds like something that's completely unnecessarily
And
blown up.
irrelevant. Yeah.
yeah,
Right,
like they're
right,
looking real hard for some reason to not like her.
basically.
Yeah,
It doesn't take much in the age of social media. That's what they're looking for anyway. You can't do
that's the whole
anything
"this
without.
you"
Yeah.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Looking for something to be mad about.
right. Have you had any scandal yet surrounding your career?
Interesting enough, not too much. It feels like the scandal has been so small just because it's in the very, very small niche that I got out of.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's more of like with team members and things being blown up about that. But so far, I'm squeaky clean. I promise you, it won't stay that way though, because that's the way people are.
So you're not going to be
I just
running
do myself.
for president, is what you're saying?
I didn't say that.
Okay. Right.
Do you guys feel like it's something artists should be worried about now, like up and coming artists, like whether or not there's some type of digital footprint that's going to follow them or something like that?
Everybody
I
should be worried
feel
about that.
like people should definitely be concerned about that. It's like
Mm-hmm.
whether worry is one thing, but being aware and making sure you take whatever precautions or just be prepared for whatever you may have done in the past. That
Exactly.
that's for sure. I don't really
Yeah.
have dirt in the past. I just feel like I'm gonna end up saying something to piss somebody off because I don't give a fuck,
There
Yeah.
you
and I'm gonna
go.
say what I say.
Yeah, they'll
So,
find anything. Oh, she doesn't like dogs. She's a cat person instead. Ah, terrible. Terrible.
bro,
Cancel.
they can miss
Yeah.
me with all that. Miss me
I
with
was
all
just
that.
I said the president thing because I was thinking about like, would I ever be able to run for any public office? Like, not that there's like a big scandal, but just things that are unsavory to the general public. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
I definitely got the balls to do it. I can say that.
yeah, maybe
I
you
definitely
should.
got the balls to do it.
You be mayor of Bmore.
Mayor, oof.
That's a big job. Hey,
Be more specifically. I don't know. Maybe I'll go
right.
back to Cali and do that. But
Mhm.
So do you perform with a band or you have like how do you do it?
so me in my brand, it is just me. But what happens is I have kind of a split where I have a rap group called Wreck the System
Okay.
that got very, well known or however, and we've performed like everywhere, but this was like in the nerd space. So people will recognize me from that. And then there's a band that I bring on for Create Lady J specifically, or
Hmm.
however, and it's a guy like well-known guy, funny dude. He does music as well, but his name is Aoxis, and
Okay.
he'll like play guitar, bring the drummer. So yeah, those kind of like my two switch ups, but most of the time it's just me, and I need the stage cleared or things gonna break.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's part of your act, breaking stuff, or
I have broken guitars before. I like throw microphone stands.
Oh
Yeah.
snaps! The venue love to see you coming, huh?
Uh huh.
do you have mosh
For
pits
sure.
at your show typically?
All the time.
Hmm.
All the time.
I've been in like two mosh pits my entire life, and yeah, not really. That's not really my thing.
Hmm.
Especially now, not at this age. I'd be like, be
Well,
like, "Ow, my knee!" Like,
Oh.
don't hurt
I
me.
I feel like it's better if you don't wear glasses. Like your experience is always gonna be somewhat worse than someone who doesn't. So
Yeah, and if you're under 30, that's probably ideal. you know,
Mm-hmm.
depending on your
Nah.
physical condition. No, she
I was
said
gonna
no.
say everything has to do with your physical condition. That is what I can say. Because you
For
could be
sure, for
60 in that
sure.
mosh pit if you doing what you're supposed to do.
Right, right.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And so, do you also make instrumentals, or is it just vocal work, or how does that work?
I have a team for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I got a team of producers that'll make things for me or whatnot, and that's growing because more and more people are just like, "Let me make music for you."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but what I
Awesome.
do is I'm an engineer, so I've been an engineer for like 20 years. So I can
Okay.
mix and master the music once it's done, mix and master the producers,
Mm-hmm.
instrumentation and things like that.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, what would be like your dream collab if you were going to collab with somebody that's in like a similar genre?
Scar Lord,
Nice.
That'd be
Scar Lord.
interesting. I
I
can
would love to
definitely
do
see
that.
that. I
Yeah,
can
Yeah.
definitely see that.
that'd be a top choice right there.
Yup. There's also a band called Horror
Uh huh.
that I actually like know and have run-ins with or whatnot. I'm still to this day just like, hey, because they said that we could do a collab, but they're like so busy. So I
All
just kind of
right.
Mm-hmm.
slide in their DMs. I'm just like,
Is the moment
oh, that's
right
gonna end up
right
happening.
now?
Right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's probably gonna end up happening because I'm not giving up.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Honestly, persistence.
If there's a will, there's a way.
That's
Hell,
right.
I
You
might
just
message them when I get off this interview. Now I think
there you
about
go. Yeah, because horror's
in a
dope.
couple months.
And I'm trying to remember the name of this group that I just discovered recently. They're like around the same niche. I'll think of it.
Hmm.
It'll come
Hmm.
to me.
Is it like a rap group or is it like a?
It's like horror. It's
Mm,
like horrorcore, rage rap
mm-hmm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They've partnered with Malicious China. You heard of Malicious China?
That sounds fantastic, but no, I have not.
Well, she was on
Delicious
our show.
China. Ooh.
Malicious China, shout out to her. She was on our show a while back.
Hmm.
But yeah, there's a lot of just dope groups out there in this, you know, range of. I don't want to keep saying
Sound.
genre. Yeah,
You
but
say
it's a
sound.
specific niche. You know, like punk combined with.
Energy. Yeah, you
Yeah,
know the energy
there you
when you
go.
see it and when you feel it.
Because it's not
Yep.
always necessarily just rage rap. Because I feel like that is very much like Scarlord, and then you
Hmm.
got your horrorcore, which is horror, and the other
Hmm.
band I
Yeah.
can't think of, and then there's like Malicious China that's really more like rap, but it is like dark and rage filled. So
You could play it at those shows and no one would be like, "What is this?"
yeah, they wouldn't leave
Yeah.
See,
per
what
se.
I actually find interesting about my journey is that I come from a place where I like really rap, right? And
Hmm.
Yeah.
whereas you have the guys like, Scar Lord and City Morgue and,
Yeah,
you know, um,
that's more like
XX, all them, they they do really have like the ragey, screamy, but like I'm just floating, flowing on things, which is why
Right.
the genre that I'm curating that it has been passed around a bit, but I'm kind of like taking that like, this is mine. This is what I'm, stamping is trap rock, because
okay.
with the trap drums and the 808s and the way the
Mhm.
beats feel with like the
Mhm.
actual rap style and then having like the rock rage in mixed with it, it's
Melodies and.
yeah, it's not exactly like these other like characters. I feel
Mhm.
like the person, and this is another person that I would like to collaborate, because when I found him I'm like, oh yeah, he feels like the boy version of me, is Josiah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because he definitely like raps on his stuff, but then he also gets like screamy and ragey and kind of
Mm.
like dips and dives in different things. But I'm like, yeah, this. I'm
This
glad I
is the
found him
wave.
because I need some other people like me, even if it's just one fucking person that's like already out there, you know.
Mhm.
What about
Hmm.
Little Darky? I can't remember if he was on your list or
I
not.
I definitely feel like Little Darky. I don't know him too much. I haven't listened to too much of his stuff, but the stuff that I have heard is very ragey too.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I
And
fuck with
dark
Little Darky.
because his name's
Yeah.
Little Dark. So
Yeah. I don't.
yeah.
I don't think I'm familiar. I don't think I've heard of Lil Darky before. I'll
Oh,
check
you
that
got to
out.
check him out. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of my faves. He's up there with just Josiah for me.
Mhm.
Hmm. Hmm.
But
Hmm.
so, like, are you touring right now, or do you have plans to?
I actually do. We are putting together a tour right now or whatnot for 2025, and it's going to be pushed later, like into the summer. Because my first tour actually the one I did with Trippy Red, that started like beginning of January all the way until March. So I'm like, okay, you
Mm-hmm.
know what? I'm gonna test another part of the year, summer. Probably try
Mm,
to get a lot of festivals and things like that. So yep, we're in the midst of getting that together.
okay. I didn't know you toured with Trippy Red. That's cool.
Yeah, Trippy Red and Mikey Polo.
Okay. Did
Hmm.
you get to hang out very much outside of just touring, or?
Not too much with Trippy. I did not get to like just hang out and chill, but there was like a
Mm,
few, very few run-ins, and then it
yeah.
was like straight to work, and that's all what I was
Yeah.
about anyway. I'm not
Right.
really the person that'll just sit around and smoke and waste time. Like I'm very on shit. If there's
Yeah.
something to be done, if I'm out networking, meeting people, each
Yeah.
city I went to, I was going places, and if we were like even my team, like team at the time, they would be like, "Yo, Jay, we need like to relax. Like we need to do this." I'm like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna go here." you
Self
know,
care. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's very on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was going to ask you too, because I've seen a couple artists here recently talking about touring, how it can be like majorly depressing because you get this high from being on stage, and then when it's over, it kind of feels like there's like this empty space that you have to fill with like drugs, whatever, sex, blah blah
Oh
blah.
yeah, nope.
So you
Mm-mm.
can get caught up in this downward spiral because you
Mm-mm.
can't ever.
No.
You're like chasing, you're like a heroin addict, chasing that high. But that's
So a big part of my success has to do with making sure that I am good, right?
mm,
Like
Right.
it's not all about music. It's not all about like notoriety. It's not all about that. Like you got to work out, you got to eat right. You got to make sure
Right.
like you are internally good. You have fixed that your traumas, you're addressing it, you're doing whatever you got to do. There's no
yeah.
empty void. I mean, I lost my mom, for goodness sake. I've lost
Mm-hmm.
people,
Sorry.
but I'm like, I know what she wants me to do. She wants me to do exactly what I'm doing now. So, yeah, I don't experience any of that, and I'm glad because I did not want to go down the route of like taking drugs and being
Hmm.
unhappy. It's like,
Right.
Right.
what's the point in doing this if you were like constantly unhappy? The most unhappiness that I'm gonna feel is just frustration towards just trying to get to a certain spot, just the
Right.
grind in general. And even the grind is subjective. Like I make sure I sleep. I still get all the
Exactly.
shit I need done, and I still sleep and get whatever the heck done. Like
Mm.
I'm ruthless in this. So
No, exactly. And I think that's something a lot of younger artists fail to, understand or recognize is like, okay, what's the point of coming out with 300 songs in a year if you want to kill yourself on day 365?
God.
Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make much
yeah,
sense.
Right.
yes.
There's a
Some
lot of pressure. Mm.
It's a lot of artists that do this, and it's almost like they use their emotions and the depression and all that to create, and there's a stigma believing that you got to live like a terrible life in order to create good music. And I mean, it
Right.
could be like slightly true, but that's not the only way. There isn't one way.
Mm.
Right.
Mm.
So
And
yeah.
so you see some artists too, like whenever there's an artist that has been floating around, but then they really have like a come up, it's usually
Mhm.
because they stopped doing drugs, stopped drinking, and just focused on themselves for a while, like Dochi, for example. And now
Mm-hmm.
Dochi.
she's just completely blowing up.
I think I did see her because she was. I think I saw her and she had a video in a swamp or something.
Yes,
Or
yes, yes. Because
yeah, that shit
she's
was
kind of
fire.
like one of
That
those
was
like
fire.
she is like Kendrick even shouted her out as like one of the top rappers of the year or something like that, which is
Mhm.
huge. But she was kind of in her music. She talks about she was chasing men around her, like upset. They were making her depressed and drinking, doing drugs, whatever. And then when she stopped and kind of pulled herself back together this year, she just it like exploded. So
Mhm.
yeah,
That's fire.
yeah,
That's fire. Yeah, she was cool.
yeah. Uh, so you said Eminem, and I saw you say this in something else. Maybe it was a post, but one of your biggest influences growing up, as far as like rapping and stuff like that, you said,
Mhm.
yeah. What is it about Eminem specifically? I'm just curious. Like, is it just like his overall persona, or?
Man, it's
Is
the
it the rebel?
flow. It's the
Oh,
back and
yeah.
yak and this weed. It just gives you just see. It was just like this man is rhyming literally every the beginning, the middle, and the end of his words. This is
Yeah.
fire.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's really what it was. Like I literally watched the movie 8 Mile at I don't know 8, 11, whatever age I was. I think I was
Yeah.
11.
Mm.
Um And immediately it was like, I know what I want to do with my life. Like, I don't know what it was. It was just like, and I appreciate my mom for letting me watch that movie at such a young age because
Right.
technically it wasn't supposed to be. But had I never done it, who knows? Like when I
Yeah.
would have realized this. So
You could be in a call
That's
center right
crazy.
now.
mhm,
You know,
right.
yeah, that's awesome. And like, what do you think about his like journey as far as, you know, how he started and where he is now? Like, do you think like he's been consistent or do you think he has changed, like evolved
I
appropriately?
mean, he's made his mark.
Mm,
Right.
He's made his mark. The
Right.
different things that happened in his life that, made him get a little bit away from Slim Shady and kind of have like his embarrassments and be like on and off. He
Mm-hmm.
made his mark. There's nobody
mm,
that should be out here trying to like stay relevant. You know
right.
what I mean? So him being consistent, yeah, he was consistent when it was his time. He
Right.
was
Right.
consistent in the matter of like how he wanted to be, and he got his money. Now he's a known figure,
Mm.
so there's
He
nothing but
doesn't have
respect
anything to
for him and
prove.
many
Yeah.
people that you're right,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So
I got you.
many
Yeah.
people go that route, and there are some people who are one hit wonders and then they're gone, and they have their reasons for doing that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
he made his mark, and that's
No,
respectable.
no, for sure. What about like videos? Are you like planning to do more videos or yeah, how do you feel like that plays into like your art?
um So the way the world is now, because
Mm,
the
Mm-hmm.
last big video I did was called Snapping. I don't know if you've seen it, but we recorded that in Hollywood or whatnot in California. I had like cast members come out and hired them to like play a part, which was crazy because I ended up slapping a girl in there and I did not mean to. It was fun. They actually put it in the video, but yeah, it was fire, and I shot part of it out there, and then a little bit of it out here, and it was like a great time, and I could look back and be like, awesome. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just a lot of work.
everybody, no, it's not even about the work. The work was fun. The attention span of people are
Yes.
very short. So whereas you have, let's see, whereas you have the attention span like kind of like moving or going or people not really checking for that, or
Yeah.
they might be more attentive to like lyric videos and things like
Right.
that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing videos that are like, here's an example. I have this thing now where every Monday I come out with something called how to shoot short form content,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and it shows me as the camera person and me as the artist,
Hmm.
you know, showing the process, little banter here and there, but like you'll see how I'm doing things. Hey, there you go. But you'll see how I'm doing things or how I'm shooting it. And then, the camera person is like, yeah, check it out. And you'll see how the video was edited or however. And
Okay.
those
Mm-hmm.
are
Okay.
even long for what people's attention spans are. But when you got like a series like that, people tend to be like, oh, I wonder what's next. So
Right.
Right.
everything is very calculated. This video is amazing. It was fun. The work is nothing. It's just more about making sure you understand the times and what people are looking for and not wasting your own time. So,
I hear
Hmm.
that. Okay, family and friends snapping. Oh wait, let me turn this up. Sorry.
You're good. Boardroom.
Get more sick of being played like a fool. I ain't fixing it when I bring out the tool. Sticking in the one and the act brand new. Bambo chick, I'm breaking the two. Whether you a chick or a lame dude, hand you the fluid, whatever we do. On the other side of me, wouldn't wanna be. Couldn't hit a snap. I'm the
yeah,
man
clean
I don't give
version.
a snap. Chance
Always
when I
gotta have
can,
it.
I don't give a heck, and I never had. Running this business, calm my demeanor. I'll switch up when you really bad. Break bread with the fam if you got a bag and crack them from the set, throw them in the trash. Rock solid as
Pause so we don't get copyright strike.
Copyright.
Yeah,
Oh
copyright
yeah,
strike.
that's right.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
So we pause for a second.
that's all
Yeah, that's
good. But
dope.
yeah, it
I
was
love the
fun. It was
theme.
awesome. It was
Yeah.
awesome. And
Yeah, this is very
but so
cool.
I will say that in the future, more videos may come out. I definitely have some plans for videos.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I'm doing short form, very awesome quality short form content is what I'm currently working on. Like, I don't know if you guys heard of I always forget their name, but they're like the two girls that got known for running and rapping.
Yes. What is the
Mhm.
name? Shoot, they're kind of like the little like almost like Japanese street fashion wearing stuff.
Yeah, they do that. Yep.
Oh, what
So
is? Yeah,
For running and rapping.
yeah,
it's two
yeah,
of them,
it's two of them.
and they're named after I don't know, like an R&B singer, maybe, kind of, sort of, something like that. Like they have
But
one name.
however it goes, they have a good example of what media is now. Like they do
Okay,
the videos, it's like 30 seconds tops, but it's great quality, it's cool, gets to the point, it's the catchiest part of the song, and then people
right.
will want to go and listen to it. So that's the transition that I'm making or whatnot to just kind of up the quality of that.
I got you.
That's dope. That's dope.
And I saw like you do a lot of posts with a particular person, and I feel like maybe that person is your partner. Is that right? At least on
Partner
TikTok.
and
I don't know if it's your
partner.
like your
Well, that's
I was
romantic
that's what
like,
that's
partner.
what we're about to get the sauce on right now.
all right,
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
If it's
mean,
a man,
if
then
it's
it's
off the
not my
table,
partner. But
Okay,
no,
okay.
who are you speaking of though? Like,
it's
what did they look like?
oh, it's a lady,
It's a
and
lady. Okay.
it's a lady. Yeah, and I don't know. You just had several posts with her, with hearts on them and stuff. So I didn't know if that was someone that like you collabed with a lot, or so
Several posts on
I
them with hearts with
I
a
would.
lady. You gonna get me in trouble if
Uh
I
Right.
oh.
I don't know what you're
Live,
talking about.
live.
There's only one
I mean,
person.
I can't get on my computer to pull it up because I'm on my
Okay,
phone. But
okay, yeah.
let's slide
Not me
past that
helping
one.
to.
No, we
Okay.
have to get to the bottom of it. Okay, go to her
Oh,
TikTok, I guess.
we have to. I was like,
Okay,
I know there's a guy.
okay.
My guy Aoxus, he's the guitarist or whatnot in
Mm-hmm.
my band when I have the band, and he's fire. We're always
Because if
doing
you don't know what
stuff
I'm talking
together.
about, then obviously I missed the mark. But I thought maybe it
Yeah,
was someone
yeah.
that you were like collabing with, or like another artist, perhaps.
I'm just looking for hearts.
Because because
I'm looking for hearts.
you're on her TikTok, right?
I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Just look for.
My lady is not on TikTok, so
Okay, okay.
that's
Okay,
one thing.
Let
okay.
the record
She
let
is
the
end
record
up
show.
right. Let the record show. She is in
Yeah.
my posts sometimes or whatnot, just doing
Uh,
stuff or like
that's what I
Oh,
supporting. And
mean.
she looks very artsy too, so it's like
That's yes, she did. I didn't know how to say it. Yeah,
yeah.
artsy.
she added the hearts.
You fool.
Yeah, she had the heart, so I'm like, whoa, oof, my heart
Yeah,
ain't
that's
got
hilarious. Well, it's definitely good to have like a team that really supports you and people that
Yeah.
stick by you or you continuously work with. And that's a one thing I hear a lot of artists complaining about that we have in the shows is not really having people they can work with or a team that they can get things done with.
Yeah. It's hard to
So
know who
very
to
blessed in that,
trust.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
controversial opinion here. I think that there's a matter of self accountability that people don't take very often. I know that
Mhm.
it's hard to work with people. I have had, people that I thought I could trust almost with my life that like turned on me or that thing,
Mhm.
just however, or people I've poured things into and it just wasn't. But there's a mix of accountability that I feel like artists don't take as a person, as you discerning, looking how you're treating these people, why you don't have the support, who you're
Mm.
asking for support, all of that.
Yeah.
And then also assessing your surroundings, as in like if this person clearly, I don't know, has XYZ going on, you're asking them for XYZ and then they don't, you're just like, I don't have support.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
You don't have like a clear
have some
vision.
awareness. Have some awareness, basically. That's what you're
awareness.
saying.
Yeah. Yeah. And nobody's
Self-awareness.
perfect. I mean, we all have our things. I have my
Yeah.
things. I'm always trying to improve every single fucking day. But
Mhm.
I am over the artist complaints. I'm over.
Mm.
Oh, it's so hard. People don't. I mean, it's like, look, either you want the person, I
Right.
find somebody that's going to support you, or you don't. A lot of the times, your family don't. Your
Mm.
friends
Right.
don't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And hell, I have that too. I have family that don't support. I have friends that don't support. I have
Right.
Mhm.
people that are just whatever in the background. Is that gonna stop me? Fuck no.
Right.
So those
Exactly.
people need to do that too.
Mhm.
I say you got to look at it like this. Like people always, my family doesn't support me. I can't even get my friends to like or comment or whatever. But that's like such a small percentage of the whole population.
Exactly.
Like, why
There's
are you
billions
focused
of
on
people
that?
in the
Like,
fucking world. Right, right. They're
Right.
thinking too small.
the
They're
biggest artist
thinking
in
too
the
small.
world, like I'm sure, like I mean, Beyonce's a bad example because but like Snoop
Yeah,
Dogg
again,
or for I'm sure like
all of
his
them.
wife isn't there like in the studio with him helping him like or his kids or whatever. Like they're probably like, oh, that's just dad or grandpa or whatever. You
Yeah,
know?
people need to get off their and this is another thing. This is another thing. And this is
Uh-oh.
another controversial opinion, but this is why I say, hey, fuck it. Like, if you want to
Yeah.
cancel me, go ahead, because I probably
Yeah.
said something talking about you and you didn't like it. So when it comes to people and their I don't know. It's almost like they have this, oh, I deserve this. Like I
Uh-huh.
That.
deserve
Entitlement. Yeah.
entitlement. I can't stand entitlement. But yeah, entitlement. It's like, okay, ideally, there's going to be a mix of things. There are going to be the people who don't support, but there are also going to be like people who do, or people who, but like, what service is it doing you to sit here and complain about it? What service is
Hmm.
it
Right.
doing you to be like,
No.
this is why I'm not, I should be getting this. Well, if you're not, maybe there's a reason,
Yeah.
Right.
like I
Maybe.
I don't know. Like it's all just something that I had to grow up out of, something that I see
Hmm.
constantly, and it's
Mm-hmm.
a part of the reason why my brand is so aggro. It's like no nonsense.
Mm.
Right. It's like you're not really concerned about the people who don't like you. It's like you know what you got, you know what your bag is, and this is how you bring yourself regardless. It even
Mm-hmm.
may even come off edgy to some people. Well, that means you're not my target audience. Get out the way.
Get the
Right.
fuck.
Yeah, it definitely took me a
Get the
while to
fuck.
realize it's like they don't people don't have to like your music. They don't have to support you. Like really, it's not, it's up to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People are
No,
gonna
it
have
is
haters
frustrating.
regardless.
It is
Mm.
frustrating, of course, to try to figure that out. It's like when you're working, you're putting things out constantly, you're doing all the
Mm-hmm.
work, and you're still not really getting seeing something for it. Like you kind of, you start feeling like, okay, why this? Or even another thing that I have recently been trying to come to terms with: simplicity. There's this discourse between people liking very simple things, like, for instance, I could even say for y'all, I have no shame doing it. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
found me with me reacting to other aggro music. I
Mm-hmm.
have done full skits. I have done like so many other things, but that doesn't attract as much people as me doing something where I'm simply sitting in the car going while listening to other people's music. That can be
Yeah.
very frustrating for artists that has very in-depth ideas and
Yeah.
however, but I
Well, that could
have,
be the hook
you
that
know,
brings
Feels
people
like,
in.
yeah, and they're like, I'm the Van Gogh of music. This is too simple for me to do. Like, yeah.
right, exactly, because the idea is to do something that has people engaged, even if it's
Mm-hmm.
complicated and complex. And I'm still trying to crack the code on that. Like I have
Mm-hmm.
no qualms, no pride, no nothing. It's like I've gotten very far. I want to get a billion times further. So I'm gonna crack the code to figure out what I like doing versus what is engaging and gets people's attention, and I'm gonna blow the fuck up.
And try to
Mm,
find that middle ground.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm
I
taking
mean,
notes.
I wouldn't take it the wrong way, or anyone. If one video that maybe isn't your favorite, or one song isn't your favorite, that's the one that blows up. If anything, that's like the gateway for people to get to know
Uh,
your
it's
the
just like,
rest of
oh
your
shit,
stuff.
you don't like this song. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So there's several ways to look at it. Like when you're
Mm.
doing simple things, which I don't mind, which is why I'm still doing it, because it's easy. It's actually really easy content to just sit in the car and go like this and
Yeah.
have something out, versus always doing something. So it's like that's a cool middle ground, but it still clearly gets more attention. So I gotta learn from it
Mm-hmm.
and figure out how to put it in the more complex stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing about life. It's always the songs or the things that you don't expect that people really like. You're like, oh, I hate this, and you're like, oh, people love this. I thought it would be the exact
I
opposite.
hear about that a lot. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, here's my holy grail of a song, and it's like, oh, people don't like this one.
now there was one time when I first started kind of like climbing excuse me, on TikTok, there was this thing that I had that I was doing that was way too silly for me to want to continue, but it was still a little aggro. There was this sound, right, that went like make, and I would do scenarios of me getting mad at somebody and just going like in the camera,
Yeah.
and people love that. Like I just started, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. I'm stopping this. Like I don't like doing this. I want to do more shit. I found a way to blow up in this way. I can figure out another way. Now I think sometimes it's very detrimental though, because there may be something that happens where if I stop it, that's it. And I
Yeah.
think the aggro, making music that make you want to fight, even though that was kind of simple, I'm like, I think I should hold on to this because people are literally walking up to me in the street saying, "Yo, you're the girl that makes music that make people want to fight." And I'm like, "Oh, wow, okay, all
Yeah.
right, I see what this is.
Yeah.
Cool, I'm
Yeah.
here."
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if it's authentic to your personality, I think that makes a difference too.
It
Not
does.
necessarily that you want everybody to fight each other, but you know that's something that's speaking to what you're trying to put
Mm-hmm,
out there. You know,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Lord
Word
knows I have a
life.
lot of rage.
Yep. Rage is
It's
an emotion. Everybody gets angry for some reason.
relatable.
So that's the
Hmm.
easiest relatable train that I could hop on because there's a lot of things that I don't relate to. So,
Right.
yep.
So you're dropping a lot of jewels about like social media and stuff like that. You also have like a social media management service that you do. I
Yes.
don't know
So
if you want to
I'm a
plug that.
social media manager. Oh yeah, give me the plug. But yeah, I'm a social media manager. I help like brands and businesses not only just grow, but turn their attention to sales, turn their attention into whatever they are looking for exposure or however, and clean up pages. Because
Hmm.
social media is so weird. Like again, you can put all this effort into something, take all this time, put all this whatever, and then you're posting it on social media because that's what needs to happen. That's the world today,
Right.
and you're like constantly flopping. It's like, what the hell? Like you get very frustrated. And I'm very happy to say that like there's a couple of clients, especially a very specific one currently that is it he is like growing rapidly, and it's not even on artists I'm working with. It's a
Okay.
sports advocate or whatnot, or sports coaches that helps athletes and everything. So like
Hmm.
I've worked with artists, I've worked with a lot of creative brands, and now I'm breaking into the sports because they need help, especially since they're
Hmm.
older, and they're a lot of their stuff might be outdated or not as appealing or catchy. So this guy
Hmm.
is just like getting meetings, his DMs are hitting up. Like I
Nice.
have it on D&D right now because I can't. So yeah, so that is something that I'm passionate about, and I got very good at it through my own, and now I'm helping other people, and it's great.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if somebody wanted to reach out to you for that, would they just go to your regular, like your artist
Oh
page?
yeah.
And
Yeah,
okay.
CreateLadyJ. Everything is all in one. I definitely went through the thing where I was thinking I had to like separate it and become no, this is me. Like
Mhm.
For
so if
real.
you go to CreateLadyJ, you're asking about any social media management help, I'm already know what time it is.
That's right.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
DW. Were you about to say something?
I was like, yeah. So do you have any advice for like artists getting their like you would say your aura, their energy out there, their page, like kind of how you were like, oh, I make music that makes people want to fight. All
Ah.
your videos are like, they all fit you. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
they fit your
Mhm.
brand and they fit what you're doing. How do you have any advice for artists who's looking for exactly how to find that lane for themselves?
You know, I will actually give because there are so many different ways that you could do this, but I will give you something that I recently did myself, and it helped me get out of like my own head where I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, like I can't figure this out. So, have you guys ever heard of anything called a mind map?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the times we've done this in school where we'll draw like the little circle and then like this
Oh, okay.
circle and it branches.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
what I would encourage artists to do for everybody that's listening right now, I don't know how many people are listening, but make a mind map. And what you want to do is you want to have like the main circle be like, okay, content, whatever. This is what you're focused on.
Hmm.
One branch be like who you are. That has nothing to do with the music. This is who you are, why you did it, whatever. Then it's like your artist. So but what you see as the artist. It's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
Put all the things behind there. What inspires you as an artist? Why you want to do this? However, and then maybe there's another branch. From my branch, it was business because I
Okay.
absolutely adore business. I love business. It's you know it's a big part of how I became so like balanced and efficient. So I
Mm.
put like okay, all the reasons for business, and then when you kind of have all these things together written down, and you start seeing and connecting dots, then you could do the last branch where you're talking about what could I do for my content? How can this
Okay.
come together? So, good example for me too
Mm-hmm.
is like I like skating, I like rock, I like anime, and I was
Mm-hmm.
inspired by like my mom, and so when it came together, it was just like, man, I'm edgy. I do like inspiring people, and I want to do something different. I'm always trying to do something different. So
Mm.
that's actually how I found my how to make short form content thing
Mm-hmm.
that I'm doing, and I
Mm.
really love doing it. Like it doesn't even matter. Some of the videos so far haven't even gotten like skyrocket stuff or actually was
Mm-hmm.
lower, but I
Mm-hmm.
still didn't care because I love doing it so much. So when you find
Yeah.
that, you tend to go a direction and then more might happen. You get
Yeah.
more
Mm-hmm.
ideas. And from those ideas, something might stick. And that's how you end up finding it.
Mm-hmm. That's what's
Solid
up.
advice. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so like,
Was
oh no, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask. So when you're working on music or you make a song, are you coming from the same kind of analytical way, or is it just like I'll walk in the booth, I'm kind of shitty today, let me record something, or just kind of like you got this mind map at you're like putting the puzzles together, like how can I make a dope
Yo,
record, or what's your process behind your song?
the dope record. So the dope record usually does have a lot to do with how I'm feeling in the moment, or it
Mm-hmm.
could be a matter of practice because you got to do something. Like you got to stay consistent. You got to use it or you lose it, all of that. So
Mm.
right now, this is something a lot of people don't know. I'm working on a Sonic album,
Uh,
right?
Mm.
Yeah,
like
and the
Sonic the Hedgehog?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's
Hell yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
it's cool, but the name of the album is "Gotta Go Fast." So what has
Uh,
been inspiring me is the producers are cranking out beats, throwing them to
mm-hmm.
me, and I'm like, you know what? You're gonna crank them out fast. I'm gonna finish them fast. We gotta
Gotta
go
go
fast.
fast. Gotta
So
go
that
fast.
that was literally just the thing. So now I'm like, a couple of days go by, and I'm like, I need to write. I need
You're
to
like itching.
force myself
Yeah.
to watch Sonic shit, whatever,
Yeah.
and get something, trigger something. I kind of know how to trigger my own creativity, but
Mm.
it's always different. Like
Yeah.
recently, I'm doing a lot of nerdy stuff right now. Recently, are you guys familiar with the show Arcane?
I've heard of
My
it.
brothers just told me about that.
Yeah, so I made a couple of songs from that, and I did that in a matter of 30 minutes because I was
Whoa.
so like into the
In the
idea and
zone.
concept, and me and my
Yeah.
girl was like coming up with ideas. Business partner gave me an idea. I'm like, this is stupid. So I found beat, and what I
Just
usually
snap.
do is I wait until I know I have a moment to like just sit and focus before I even listen to the beat over and over again because I want to keep it fresh.
I
Mm.
swear. It matters
Yeah.
so much. Hearing something
Yep.
for the first couple times and then hearing it about 1,000th time, you're like, okay, like,
I'm over this. Right.
Or
Right.
even
I'm
hearing
over
your
yeah,
it.
own
yeah.
voice, like
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
trying it different times, you're just like, ugh.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get sick of your own music. I got sick of snapping. I haven't even listened to it in a while. It was
Mm.
I was almost came out like 2 years ago, so I'm like
Yeah.
I'm over this song, even though it's great.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
but
And
that's
that's
yeah.
and it's hilarious. I always have like this weird like feeling when I skip my own song because I've just played it so many times. It's like no, I enjoy this. I'm
Oh, you're an
Spotify did
artist?
not put the, yes, I'm an artist. We're both artists. We're both artists and DJs too, and we do other
Ah,
stuff too. So
fire. Okay.
definitely. So we understand a little bit where you're coming from, but that's awesome that you got
Yeah.
your process down like that and can just create that fast and go for it. That's a gift. Not everybody has
Uh,
that.
it
Right, right.
all depends.
It
Yeah.
It all
definitely does.
depends.
On whether it's
Yep.
Monday or hump day.
Yeah, you kind of gotta go with your vibe. You go with your
Hmm.
vibe. If it's
For sure.
something weird or whatnot, don't fight it. Just go with your vibe. Everyone's different, but I definitely think that no matter what, forced creativity sometimes is necessary because you
Yeah.
you gotta create. You gotta consume things to give you something so you could just do something, even if you're just jotting things. Or this is for everything, because
Mm-hmm.
you could go without creating for months upon months if you don't force something, because
Yeah.
the force can trigger the real, and then you kind of be in your thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It lets
See
the
me,
levee break.
I'm always like, no, I'm not feeling it. I'm not doing it. So yeah, don't listen to me though, because I'm not even trying to get people to listen to my shit. So, but yeah, for real. Mine's just more like I'm using like BetterHelp.com or something.
BetterHelp.com.
That's
Hey,
all.
whatever
hey,
does
music
it.
can be therapeutic. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
for
Exactly.
the artist or whoever. But
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
well, do you
Yeah.
have any new projects coming out in the near future that people can look for?
Like I said, I got the Sonic one. I got a couple of Arcane stuff coming out. I do have, goodness, I'm creating so much. But I think the biggest one, the one that's like actually being focused on, however, is the Sonic and Arcane ones.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm gonna put out some nerdy stuff. I haven't done it in a while because I came out with an album or aggro rage album,
Yeah.
Mm,
kind of emotional too. It's called
Mm-hmm.
Creators Cry for Help
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
or
saw
whatnot. So
that.
that was dope. But it was yeah. So it's just like I do some aggro stuff, then I'll go back to dirty and kind of do whatever I'm feeling. So that
Right,
Sonic
right.
project, they can definitely look forward to that.
Okay. And you said that's coming out when, you know, or just kind of loosely?
No date yet.
Okay. Okay.
No date yet.
I'm gonna
Yep.
just keep your eyes and your ears peeled.
Yeah. That means you
Oh
guys
yeah.
got to go follow and just keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hit
Yes.
that,
Oh,
smash that subscribe button.
and trust and believe, when it comes to me, I'm not somebody that'll just sit. It'll be like, oh, there's months and there's no content. No, I'm dropping things. You're
Oh
gonna see
yeah.
things. Something's
Mm-hmm.
gonna come out, even if it's not planned or whatnot. Those arcane things are probably coming out January. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like if you follow me, you're not gonna be waiting long for something.
All right. All right.
That's what's up.
Yep.
Hmm.
All right. Well, everyone go follow Create Lady J. All one
That's right.
word. The whole thing.
All one word, J
On
at the end.
everything.
That's
Yep.
right.
And just one last thing. Is there any way that we can get a drop from you? Just like
Oh
a,
yeah.
hey, this is Create Lady J. You're listening to Rap Yard Podcast or something of that sort.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can do that.
Thank
Yep.
you.
How you
Just
want me
just whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
All right, cool. What's this? Hey, yo, this is Create Lady J, and you're listening to Rap Yard Podcast. Let's go.
Pew,
Boom,
pew,
boom,
pew,
boom,
pew, 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 pew,
boom.
pew, pew, pew. Thank you. We appreciate you
Rah.
coming on the show today.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having me, yo.
All right,
Yep,
folks.
yep.
That is a wrap.
Yar.
Pod.
Mm.
Cash.